Okay, so I just want to do a quick, well, not quick, but a dress rehearsal for tomorrow. I've got a big shoot recording tomorrow that I'm doing. Yeah, I don't think I need all I was going through my transcripts of the different talks that I did over the past year because I was organizing them for my book now that I have, my word processing program. I have I think it's 2,400 pages. That's all of the transcripts, I think, until I came to New York. Maybe it's some of the ones after New York. I think I got some of the New York ones. Maybe I got all of them. I think I maybe got all of them up until like the past week or something. So it's 2,400 pages. But the last 6 months or so, I do all the Frankly Fabulous stuff. And I don't know, every fucking one of these transcripts starts with the Frankly Fabulous spiel. And I don't know. I'm just not sure if I need it. Like doing this reading where I did the character. It kind of felt like, I don't know if I really needed the character. I think I should have just done a sincere reading. I think the character drove it to kind of weird places. That even when I'm doing the talks, I don't do. Like the character's aggressive and kind of a motor mouth and a heel. During my talks, I generally try to be as like present and like thoughtful and sensitive as I can be, really, which is not how that character is, the Frankly Fabulous character. And I don't know, it didn't really work. Not that it was bad, I didn't set it up right, but like, I don't know, I thought it would just take on a life of its own and people would really like it just for what it was. But I don't know, even the look was kind of like Johnny Paycheck or something. Like a guy from Ross County. Reading, writing, Route 23. So, no, but it was good. I'm gonna post the video. It's gonna premiere in a few days. The Frankly Fabulous, Too Hot for TV, rated NC-17. But I don't know. I don't know if I need the character, really. I think I can just be me, and I think I need to be me. And and with poetry readings also, the thing that I was thinking about was like, I'm trying to make it perform. Well, what I really am trying to do is like sing. Like Ted Berrigan says, I lift my voice in song. Like you're trying to get to a point where the poetry sings. And so sometimes I get there. Like during this reading, I did get there. There was definitely a large portion of it where I was like really singing, and it was nice. And then I kind of got tipped over. My last piece, I just read the wrong piece. But it was what it was. It was cool. I'm glad that I did it. The piece was just a little too thick and a little, I don't know. It's like a lot of detail, a lot of, it's like a collage portrait of this neighborhood. And it's a little sentimental. There's some sentimental parts. In a way I didn't really, I did, but like the Frankly Fabulous thing takes it to a place where it's not really what I set out to do. Like I said, that was the armor I was wearing, and I was sort of trying to be Lenny Bruce, but, the idea was I just do the talks, which, like I said, are pretty considerate, sensitive, erring on the side of caution, whereas my reading was like kind of in your face, and I don't know, it didn't really need to be. I think it's partially because I don't trust the material, or at least like when I get high, this is the crisis I've always had as a performer, is like when you get high, you gain some things, but you lose a lot. And it can go either way. Sometimes you're like the most impressive thing anybody's ever seen. Well, I don't know about that, but and then other times you really weird people out and you like make them uncomfortable. And so it's about half and half. When you're sober at a reading, a lot of times that can work. Just reading it, if I really trusted my material, when you're sober, when I'm sober, I'm not really as sensitive. I'm not as like, I'm not taking everything personally. I'm not paranoid. I'm not in my own head. I'm not obsessing about people's judgment or my own judgment, or I'm not judging everything hypercritically. I'm more kind of just like when I'm sober, I'm more just kind of courageous in a way and confident, sort of weirdly. I mean, you don't necessarily have, I don't know. To be honest, it's been a while since I've done a reading where I didn't get high immediately beforehand. And so maybe that's my problem. I don't know. Maybe I just need to stop smoking. I don't know. I'm not sure. But I think with reading style, even if I'm not sober, I can sort of, my idea is like I have this performative style or something. It's just, I don't know. It's just a little over the top. Like this thing tomorrow, it's a video, and I'm not going to do any of that. I'm not going to do any of the performative anything. It's for a video blog, and it's honestly, it's it's really a dream come true. I really want to do a good job, because it's one of those things that's just like, I mean, it's an honor to be a part of it. It's like, as far as downtown New York poetry goes, being on this video blog is about as legit and underground and like real deal as you can get. So I feel really lucky to be a part of it. And I want to do a good job. I'm going to read, so I asked him what should I read. He said, read from your book. So I've got City Life. I'm going to read selections from City Life. And I think I've got a good selection picked out. I don't really know how long he wants me to read. I imagine somewhere between 10 and 20 minutes. So I've kind of got a selection of that. Partially, I'm just worried that my pieces are all too short. I've got a lot of like little small pieces, which amongst a few larger ones. But, my books are like that a lot, and they're kind of notebook. That was one of the things at the readings is my friend who read, her pieces are just so like well done that it's like every reading I do, like the readings I used to do with Olivia, it was just like I just look like an idiot afterwards. My work just looks like a bunch of bullshit because I'm coming from a way different place. I might work better on the page. I'm not sure. I'm confident about my style, and I really think it's going to work on this video blog. But I do kind of want to go through and figure out my flow, figure out where I want to put the pieces. I don't think I made any mistakes at my reading. I don't think I could have predicted that I should have read the other piece. That long piece about Greenwich Village has the last image about the guys eating in the bodega, which I really like a lot, and I feel like it's a very strong kind of portrait. It's almost like a Dutch Masters, but like in the bodega, of a blue-collar guys after work, like I used to be, sitting around. And so I thought, I kind of just trusted that image. I didn't realize the rest of the poem is kind of self-indulgent and sentimental, and it drags, and it's just kind of corny and shit. I was trying to have like a theme, and I don't know, I may have been better off reading the other piece, but I'm glad it had that unity and it was like all of a piece like that. I still haven't watched the recording. I mean, I black out when I do my performances, and generally I'm too afraid to watch them afterwards because it's like, holy shit, what did I do? you know, there's definitely certain things I remember saying that I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe I said that. That was so dumb. Cringe, a lot of cringe. And so I don't even know if putting on the internet is a good idea, to be honest. I don't even know if it's watchable. I don't know if any of my readings are watchable. I think people probably click them and they're like, oh my god, this is embarrassing. So, not that I'm rethinking my performance. I like using my body. Like I said, I like singing. I like recreating the sound of, if there are certain things that are like quotes or from songs, I like kind of singing it, or sort of doing the voice or whatever, because that's what we do in life. But then, you know, a little bit of that can go a long way. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know what the fuck. I mean, I've definitely got a niche that's sort of somewhere between dad poetry and like something contemporary. Like, I went to a reading tonight, and I'm not sure if I should have gone. I mean, it was at KGB once again. I just figured, what the fuck, you know, I'm doing this, might as well. And it was cool, like, internet writer kids. So I was like, okay, I'll go check this out, you know, like, what the hell, it's half an hour walk, might as well, you know, this is what I'm doing, let's see what these poets are writing, let's you know, I did a reading there last week, let's make the scene or whatever. And it's in the East Village. I mean, there aren't really any venues in the West Village that do these kind of... KGB has had a lot of kind of cool lit kid events recently because they're booking a lot of stuff. But also, I think they have a reputation. There's a little bit of a prestige or, like, edginess that goes with KGB that, like, these kind of Twitter lit celebs are, I don't know, they're aware of or something. I don't know. So there's been a lot of readings like that. And our reading... I don't know, was this reading tonight, they did out, okay, it was advertised as the first reading in the garden out back, which it wasn't. As far as I know, they don't even have a garden in back of KGB, because I'm pretty sure it's on the second floor. Like, the first floor is that Crane Theater, and then the basement is that comedy club. So I don't really think there's a garden at KGB. When they do outdoor readings, at least when they did the open mic, they did it in front of the fucking bar, like on the steps, and there's like a fucking wooden like bench that they built, you know, like outdoor smoking area or whatever. And they don't have a PA. You know, for an open mic, it's one thing. It was no big deal. But this is like a fucking, you know, it's a bunch of writers who are 28-year-old, you know, they don't project a lot. They're not trained to do that. They read into a microphone. They're super alt-lit. They're super, like, emotionless and, like, quiet when they read and shit. They're, like, cool. They're very, like, intimidating with their clothes and just their attitudes. And they don't do anything extra. You know, my reading is the opposite. I'm like a clown flopping around and being weird and shit, and they don't do anything extra. They literally just get their book and they read, and that's it. The two of the girls I couldn't even hear at all, to be honest, because like there was fucking cars going by and people walking by and bikes and motorcycles and ambulances and all the great New York stuff, and I couldn't hear anything they were saying. There's no PA. So the reading was supposed to be, everybody was in the bar before the reading. I walk in, and literally, it was supposed to start at 8, right? And I get there, I think, at like 8:15, and it still hasn't started, of course. And because it's like a cool reading, and which is fine, you know. I'm glad. I'm glad I didn't miss any of it, because the doors were at 7. So I get there and I go in, and the bar's packed full of fucking hipster people, you know, drinking and doing what they do, looking cool. It's that 8-Ball zine community who has the public access station. They were connected with it. So it's cool, you know, it was a cool event. And it was like, I just found out about it. It was kind of a last minute thing. So I thought, what the hell? I'm here to be a part. I'm here to see poets and go to readings. What the fuck, you know? I'll do that. It'll take me a couple hours. I'll come back. I worked on my books today a little bit, and I already kind of prepared for tomorrow. I already kind of went over my stuff once, so I kind of know what I'm going to do. So I thought, okay, this is part of the job. I'll go out to this reading. Maybe I'll meet some people. I don't know. So I go, like I said, when I get there, everybody's in the bar. And then I asked this guy, did it happen already or what's the deal? Because the podium's like pushed against the wall. He's like, oh, I think they're going to do it out front. I'm like, okay. So I go out front, and like 5 or 10 minutes later, the reading starts. I hadn't eaten either, because all day I've been busting my hump. I've been really kind of busy. I'm living it 24/7, truly, and it's starting to come together. And so I haven't even been to the store. So I went to Trader Joe's today. It was like such a fucking thing to just even go. It's 3 blocks that way. It's down the stairs, and you got to wait in line to get in, and blah, blah, blah. So it's like, it's a little bit, carrying these bags home kind of sucks. But I did it. I went to I go once a week, and it's Sisyphean, Every week I got to get 2 bags that are heavy and $60-$70, bam. And then I have snacks that sort of caulk up my, main courses, which I get out in the city. Tonight I had the taco truck. They remembered me on Sheridan Square. It's great. Great. I recommend that highly, the taco truck on Sheridan Square. And then, or the Punjab Deli right here is also one of my ultimate favorites. And so those are kind of my entrees. And then I have the snacks from Trader Joe's, which are necessary. You need calories, you know what I mean? Especially when you're going hard like I am. I mean, I'm lucky that these events are at KGB. I don't even have to go to Brookline. I can just walk over. Shy Watson is kind of a net celeb. Her Twitter is kind of low level. And I think she's an excellent, excellent poet. Like, she's trying to write fiction. That's cool. That's where the money is. But I think her poetry is good. Her Twitter is definitely lit as fuck. The stuff she read was good. It was like these Met poems. You could hear what she was saying. Nothing against, it just sucks. I don't know why they didn't do the reading inside. That was my point. There was no reason to do it outside because everybody was already in the bar. Just like, they need a microphone, totally. Definitely. It would have been a lot better. I couldn't hear anything they were saying. It's cool that they did it out front, but like, I've seen readings out front. We did ours in the bar. Freaking those Jersey poets, they did their thing in the bar that I had been to. So it's like they're doing events in the bar. There was no reason for that to be outside. But I hate to burst these people bubble. There is no garden, I don't think, at KGB bar, as far as I know. It's like I said, it's on the 2nd floor, but so it was cool to go. I could hear enough that it sort of made it worthwhile. Like, I didn't really talk to anybody or do anything. I just kind of was in and out real fast, because it's just entertainment to me. Any night of the week, I can go out and see something. It probably would have been better if I could have made some contacts or something, but I did dip in and see a reading tonight. I got to get a camera. I got to start filming this stuff. This all should be on my show. There should be new episodes happening every week with this stuff, but I got to get an iPhone if anybody out there has so anyway, tomorrow, okay, so I don't know if I went into this story yet, but because I had this pouty kind of outburst on this Facebook group, New York legend Don Yorty is going to meet me before the reading. And it was kind of a to-do to set up because I have to be there to film. So I had to I have to jump away from that to do this. And we're going to meet at the church. I don't know exactly where we're going to do it. I think he wants to do it somewhere in the church, which is amazing. That would be cool. I'm sort of preparing and thinking that it would be cool to do it in the plaza out front. That's where I spend a lot of my time. That's where a lot of important things have been going on in my life recently. I found half a joint there. Did I tell that story about how I lost? I was walking in front of B&H with Hannah and Eli after we went to after our reading. And I had like half of one of my nicely thin rolled joints tightly rolled. And I'm walking in front of B&H because I had been carrying it for a while. I hadn't really had time to light it. I was just kind of carrying it down 2nd Avenue. And right in front of B&H, I see it. I don't know how it slips out of my fingers. And I literally see it plummet to the sidewalk and land right at the edge of my right foot as I'm stepping in the sidewalk. But I don't see it ricochet or fly off anywhere. I literally just see it hit the sidewalk and disappear. I don't know where the fuck it went. And literally we spend probably 10 minutes out front of B&H. Eli, Hannah, I don't know if Eli's friend had left or not, but we were all just looking, where the fuck is this half joint? There wasn't even that much weed in it, but there was some. I don't roll like super fatties or anything. All my joints are very thin, and I'm trying to conserve weed and make it go as far as I can. And so this joint just like fucking, we looked under the trash. There were trash bags. It was wet. The sidewalk was wet. And it was just nowhere to be found. I mean, we looked everywhere. We really combed the place over or whatever. And just couldn't find it. So then they split off and they went to their respective destinations. And I was sitting in the plaza out front of the church. I don't remember why. I think just to kind of have a moment, and I think I had another joint that I was going to smoke. Or maybe I'd gotten food. I think I got food or something, was eating it. I don't remember. But anyway, I'm sitting in the fucking church, and I look over to my left on this fucking bench, and there's literally half or a quarter, probably a quarter of like a really big joint, like a nice pre-roll from like an actual dispensary or store or something, and it's huge. And so the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. I mean, I lost a small little nothing. I mean, there was 2 or 3 hits in that thing, but I gained. He gives with the left, he takes with the right, or whatever. Takes with the left, gives with the right. And I found this huge joint that I think I brought it back here and put it in I was able to, that like gave me a day or 2 of weed, and it was powerful. I mean, it actually kind of fucked up my flow. I mean, that's why I was so weird at those, did I talk about that yet? Those readings last Friday, because I was like, the weed was like different, and maybe more potent or something, but, it doped me up on Friday. I was kind of weird. Because I don't know. There was just a lot going on. I'd had that reading. I'd been emotional. I was bringing emotional shit. And then I had this, and I was just tired and shit. So anyway, I've been going kind of hard. I mean, I was gone on Saturday. I went to this thing tonight. What the fuck did I do last night? I think last night I went for a walk. I don't know. My joy is just walking through the village. I love walking through the village so much. I love walking to Bleecker Park and sitting in Bleecker Park. I love walking to that little park on Charles and 7th Ave and sitting there. I mean, it's so, I enjoy it so much. It's literally so pleasurable to me. So any day I get the chance to do that, I do it. And I think I did it yesterday and today. Today, when I walked to this reading, I walked Greenwich Ave to Washington Square Park, south at McDougal off 8th Street, walked through the park, and then 4th over to KGB. And then on the way back, I took, 4th to, I took 4th all the way to, really most of the way, to be honest. I stopped at my little park on 7th Avenue South in Charles, and I got this book. I do want to do book of the day. This book came literally as I was walking out the door to go to this reading. It was supposed to get delivered tomorrow, but they brought it today, thank God. And this edition is not as good as the hardcover that I saw in the store. This is kind of paperbacky and like shitty. I should have splurged and got the hardcover. The 20s by Edmund Wilson. So it's all about I'm not exactly sure. He's not a great writer, I don't think. I mean, he's very like Ivy League bullshit. But he lived in the West Village during the 20s, and he knew F. Scott Fitzgerald. He was an upperclassman, I think, when F. Scott Fitzgerald was a freshman at Princeton. And so he knew F. Scott Fitzgerald from a very young age. And F. Scott Fitzgerald said he was his conscience as a writer or something like that. I don't remember. And he knew Cummings, E.E. Cummings, so there's a lot of stuff about E.E. Cummings in here, and John Dos Passos, and just kind of West Village. He's also connected to, like, Condé Nast and Algonquin Round Table, Dorothy Parker, all of those people, Alexander. Well, I don't know if I heard about Wolcott, but it's weird that this Condé Nast thing was an even fucking thing back then. That was 100 years ago. That's another thing that's kind of funny about it's the 20s, which is literally what we're in right now. But it's weird that Condé Nast, like, he's talking about Vanity Fair fucking magazine, and I saw Graydon Carter at Waverly Inn, a restaurant that he owns, a few weeks ago in the same fucking neighborhood, working for the same fucking company in the same fucking magazine, Vanity Fair. I mean, it's like a reboot. It's like an update of it. But Vogue is Condé Nast. He talks about that in here. How Vogue, I guess, makes enough money to support all the other magazines. Vanity Fair actually is kind of, or at least it was at that time. But he talks about this sort of cafe called the Coffee Shop, which I think Maxwell Bodenheim also mentions in his thing. It's like a bohemian kind of counter or lunch play, but it's owned by this guy who's the editor of the fucking Condé Nast, just like Waverly Inn was owned by Graydon Carter. It's just weird that I'm sure Graydon Carter was aware of this and was sort of emulating his heroes when he was establishing his sort of West Village fake pseudo, yuppie 80s version of that. I mean, Fran Lebowitz, I admire Fran Lebowitz, and I admire, and also, Bogdanovich is playing into this with They All Laughed, the Algonquin Round Table, and it's weird that is located in Midtown, because, all of this, or most of this life kind of takes place in the West Village. I'm reading this passage near the end. It's a diary. So it's this guy's, that's one reason why I'm interested in it, because it's this guy. He's not really a remarkable writer, but I was in the bookstore the other day, and I pick up this book, and it's called The 50s, or The 60s, and it's this thick fucking hardcover book, and it's this Edmund Wilson guy who I've heard of, but I don't really know what's significant about him, other than he's just kind of an egghead. Like, I think he was involved with the New Yorker probably from its inception. And he's just like, he was like one of those leading kind of intellectual literary types, even though he wasn't necessarily, I don't know, he hasn't written a Great Gatsby or anything like that as far as I know. But these diaries are kind of interesting because they are like the Pepe's diaries, or what are some other, the Joubert stuff to some degree, or a lot of the diary stuff I've been reading, and who else are the famous diarists? I know there's other ones. Then does Rousseau have a diary of some kind? In a certain way, it's not a legitimate form of literature. This is just stuff they compiled after the fact because it has all these tidbits and sort of ephemera and trivia about all of these famous literary personages. In fact, I can't even really believe that this project came out, because if you want to look at it from a literary point of view as sort of a collage, prismatic, and I would say it is. There's a lot of very interesting things in here that you would not find probably in fiction or even memoir or poetry that like is really, I don't know, it fills out, and it's kind of a more interesting vantage. It's more just like real life, and you know, seeing E.E. Cummings through all these different anecdotes and through the action and through this other person's kind of viewfinder, it's kind of that's kind of the most exciting form of literature to me right now. These sort of piecemeal or patchwork, or, you know, like I said, they're prismatic, they're cubistic kind of mosaics that are autofiction. But I mean, he describes, like, there's a bunch of passages of him describing riding in taxi cabs, looking through, you know, the canyons of the buildings at the sunset and shit, and he's describing the colors. And I mean, if James Schuyler were doing it, it would be the most incredible book ever. This guy's not really that fun. He's not as good of a poet. Or I don't know if he's not as good, but he's not really a poet. He doesn't really try to do that. If a poet wrote this book, it would be so incredible. But, and it's not like he's a bad writer. He's just hoity-toity East Coast, and he just sounds like it. There's not really anything going on. It's just a bunch of, except it's kind. I mean, this is almost an accident as far as I know. I'm really not sure what the backstory behind this is, but as far as I can tell, it was put together like in the late 70s. Yeah, 75 is when this came out. And I think this is the first in the series. It's like the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. Like, it's incredible. If you really look, if you were to take all of those as one set, I might get them all. I don't know. I bought this one in particular because I want to learn about the West Village in the 20s. And I thought this would be, you know, kind of an interesting way. You know, I'm being a little bit of a historian of the area, and that's kind of what my reading was about, and what some of my work is about, and what the work in this is about partly. And so, reading all the different accounts, especially of literary life and the Bohemia or whatever, and just what it was like. So I'm sitting in fucking you know, 7th Avenue and Charles Street, and I read a passage about 55 Charles Street right off 7th Avenue, literally a block from where I'm fucking sitting. You know what I mean? So I'm in this position where I can really feel it and walk these streets, but also you can't, because you can't get in these buildings. I don't actually live there, but I can imagine. So I'm sort of, you know, I'm furnishing it and my yearning and my imagination with, and just I want to know the lineage. You know, I want to know about E.E. Cummings. You know, I think he's a fascinating figure, and this is, you know, just an amazing way to learn about all of it. And it kind of suits my form of reading, to be honest. Not that I dislike, you know, reading novels or reading but even just all poetry in general, you kind of pick it. It's kind of a non-linear form of reading where you just kind of pick it over, or like scour it, or like cull from it, and you read this, and then you go back and you read it, and then you go back and you read it, and then you read the next, and then you go back and you read, you know, like it's just such a shuffled, like mixed up reading experience. And every time I pick up a book, it is almost like bibliomancy, where you like get your things that you need out of it. You almost like turn exactly to the passages that you need, like, oh, Cummings, The Man in the Iron Necktie, me. Well, I only hope you got, it just talks about, girl with her back to us in front of a drugstore as we were walking up Lafayette Street. You know, he's walking up Lafayette Street with E. Cummings. It's just an interesting kind of scene, you know. It humanizes it in a certain way. You know, you can picture it, E. Cummings on Lafayette Street, of course. He's just like you or I. He's walking around New York. He's going to all the different neighborhoods and shit. And that's how it was before. And so, you know, if you were to look at this whole fucking book as, you know, you can kind of just open it to, you know, the diary thing kind of lends itself to that. You can kind of just go through it and just read it wherever you want. You don't really read it from start to finish, although I suppose you could. But you can kind of just go in and find the most delicious parts, and then maybe not read the other stuff that you don't want to read. You know, especially for something. So like I said, it's 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. What is that, 6 decades or something? 5. These are 500 pages a piece. You know, that's a 2,500 page fucking piece of work. And it is literary. It is a portrait of the society, and the writing is... I mean, it kind of reminded me a little bit of Johnson, Life of Boswell, or Boswell's Life of Johnson, and Johnson's Lives of the Poets. Once again, that's been my obsession. So this is sort of a Lives of the Poets, definitely. The 20s, Edmund Wilson. I've never even really heard of this. Like, it seems like a little bit like this was some kind of... The way that they sold it was probably as some kind of like literary gossip or something. Like Cheever's journals or whatever. Oh, you gotta, if you want to read about F. Scott Fitzgerald, you can read about it in there. Which at the time, maybe there was an audience for that, because it's in a fucking Bantam paperback, you know, like that's not some obscure... FSG published it, and then it's in a Bantam paperback. That ain't like some, you know, 500-page press, small press poetry thing. That's like pretty, you know, who knows how many copies of this they ran. 100,000 maybe or something. I don't know. So, like I said, I'd never heard of it. I found it at Mercer Street Books. They wanted $10 for like one of the hardcover. The hardcover is really nice. I'm not sure if I'm going to get any of the other decades or not. Like I said, I wanted to read specifically about this time and place. I'm not sure if I am that interested in the rest of the guy's life. There's a lot of writing about sex in it, I guess. It's kind of frank about that. So it is sort of ahead of its, or, you know, for that time, it's kind of a frank, and, you know, he lived amongst this milieu of very serious, honest, John Dos Passos, he talks about a lot, fucking Eugene O'Neill, Harry Kemp. He talks about Harry Kemp didn't want big successes. He wanted smaller successes on a smaller scale. And how he stops a thunderstorm in a bar in Provincetown to get another drink. So somebody will buy him another drink. He says he'll start it again. He'll start the storm again if they don't buy him a drink. So, once again, it's just the layers and layers of the village and the different bohemias. Whether it's reading Michael Lawley's Village Sonnets that were just recently written, where he talks about Obie's cafe on 6th Avenue named after the Obie Awards, which is really weird. So, I don't know, I'm just populating these landscapes that I haunt with more ghosts. And that's my apprentice work. Like the guy said at the Rot Talk last week, you know, he talks to ghosts every day. So, I mean, all of the cool people my age live in fucking Bed-Stuy. That's what I found out. Going out to Bed-Stuy, did I talk about that? Yeah, I did talk about that. Did I already publish that fucking video? I guess I must have. That was like a whole weekend recap. So anyway, this is meant to be a dress rehearsal. How long have I been talking? 40 minutes. I'm about to get into the reading. And I'm just going to read it. I'm not going to do anything weird. Let's just see how that goes if I just read it and don't do anything crazy at all. So I think I've got it kind of how I want to do it. And I'm just going to do that. So I'm starting at about 40 minutes. Let me remember that. And there's a lot of things that I'm going to cut out. I'd like to go, 10, 15, 20 minutes. 15, 20 minutes, something like that. That's my goal here. I think I've got good material that will sustain that much attention, but once again, I'm not exactly sure how I want to arrange it as far as rhythm. I've got a lot of short pieces that are a little bit hard to stop and start and stop and start and stop and start. So anyway, this is City Life. This is my new book. I don't know if I'm going to do any spiel at all. I feel like I probably shouldn't. Should I cut my hair? I got all these dreads and this nasty shit. This hair is just driving me nuts, to be honest. I really just want to fucking... I don't know if I should have it for the video or not, to be honest. So, if you have any... should I change the angle? Maybe I'll change the angle. Zoom in a little bit or something. Alright, let's see how that is. It's pretty good, right? Okay. So this is selections from City Life. This is a dress rehearsal for tomorrow. March 3rd, Speed Air. Scenic picnic. Lemon crocuses are blooming in St. Mark's churchyard. Cumulus clouds always, colors reflecting off his daughters. That day was worth $10,000. March 12th, Night Gallery. Many New York City, Bus Stop Cafe, the island of Dr. Fabulous and the Women, Amazon Prime Business Assassins, zero sugar, 0 calories, max Pepsi taste. Trachelium, $7 plus tax. Caspia, $6 plus tax. Hub Thai picnic rice is energy stored in grain. Me and the generations. March 14th, student film. Closer to Rachel's, Car Trust Pretty Car West, Hot Fudge Central, Charlie's Angels. Like the whole red team. Let me sit and rest a minute. I can tell, grad students, it's fucking weak. We hope you're naked and devoted as you read this. There's no such street as Cherry Lane. The internet was the road. Mourn or roam. March 17th, 3 a.m. bathroom account. Microdosing with huge joints. Manhattan a pied-a-terre for the whole world. Gums swollen and tender at root of tooth. Thought is a mirror. It shows you who you are. My left side is my good side. April 6th, price fishing. A highway's simple daisies. The Night Foundation. A portrait of our exact selves. We are stoned, relearning the game. My love language is karate. You be the judge. April 18th, Cross Pounder. M-Sculpt. Thermage. Fractional hair removal. Opaquely typical big unit. A flourishing of rechargeable PA systems. 422, Heathers. Hold on loosely, colorful gloom, heat lamp. He loves his heat rock. She glows in the dark. 425, shitting blood. Public secret, I have internalized Wayne's World. private property. Bored and sober, the doors of perception are not wide enough. Obsessed with a great refund somewhere else is just getting started. Sleeping at 140 miles per hour. For a living, I take care of my friends. Chelsea girls. Redacted, I'm yours. Park Slope was a sleepy port on the canal, emptied and intelligent, suburban, not very fun after dark. Chelsea rattles with the mass of still clattering mercantile clipper ship empires. Take me to a Yankee game if you can. Jeter, A-Rod, Mariano Rivera, and the Judge. Upcycled Metropole. Greenwich Ave is the fastest way home. Union Square is the waist, 14th Street a belt. Downtown is Manhattan's legs, upper torso the grid plan. Its arms are bridges, its ankles tunnels, a body seeing an eyesight of sideways prisms, horizontal skyscrapers which are streets, vertical roads which are buildings, femurs, femur, tibia, Rockefeller Seagrams, the bones we live in our homes, businesses, and offices. Its chest is Central Park, its abdomen Midtown, shoulders the Upper West and East Sides. Morningside and Harlem is lobes of a brain. Washington Heights forests, the beard, mustache, and sideburns. The Village's genitals, west may be vaginal, east phallic and perpendicular rigidities. Christopher Street, one station, a G-spot. Is Tribeca an anus where we poop cars and trash out the Lincoln Tunnel, which is our colon? Brooklyn is a woman. It sleeps next to us in separate beds tonight. Brooklyn is a queen-size mattress. Manhattan is like sleeping in your car. I love my body, my big juicy pussy, New York City, as Dr. Eziaba Irobi used to say. Let's walk it like we talk it. Tony Manero Strut, from Sheepshead Bay to Corlear's Hook. Raul Julia Appreciation Post. M. Bison, Moon over Parador, Blonde, Addams Family, Gomez, Threepenny Opera, Mac the Knife, Othello, for Joseph Papp's Public Theater. Will sex hang in the air as I sit in my favorite bar? Only time will tell. Better than nothing. Whenever we'd go out to eat as a family as kids, our dad would give the host at the restaurant a false name. He'd tell them our last name was Jones. And when we'd be called to sit down, we'd hear, Jones, party of 4, announced over the loudspeaker. Hey, that's us. 428, crazy game of poker. Cliché of relaxation, cliché of party, cliché of spa. It was not long ago there was a bar on Avenue A had a mechanical bull. Slew of pure rural rich farmers cajoled and spoiled. The magazine rack is the library of the grocery store. 430, saucy. It's already May somewhere, but not here. It's tempestuous late April. Sparrow graces us with a rusty moon. We ingest large percentages of microplastics. Oh well, life goes on. Buds peeking out, sprouts breaking from the floor, glints of nascent life. Jack's wife, Freda, patio full with diners. The apartment tape. Raindrops fell into my tears. Buddy Holly lived at the Brevoort on 5th Avenue, maybe at the same time as Jim Brody, who I think grew up there, just north of Washington Square Park. A building I remarked upon first seeing it, summer 2004 visit to New York. The grit, the heat, overlapped in the fountain bowl. Buddy Holly bringing his guitar, digging poetry and jazz, moving to New York City with his band to be a part of the scene. Buddy Holly writing in a notebook, crying, waiting, hoping, blue days, black nights, hearts that are broken, love that's untrue, these go with learning the game. He liked the creative attitude of his building and that his neighbors did not look askance his intercultural marriage with Maria Elena Santiago like they did in Texas. Buddy Holly 3 chords schematically placed with compressed precision. Buddy Holly, Greenwich Village notebook poet, hanging all night at the 5 spot. Buddy Holly, he died too soon that we may live. Buddy Holly, not fade away. Vox Populi. I'm a little wary to set goals. Sacrifice never got me everything I wanted, just to be with people on a first-name basis and not worry about outcome. The world's first Google store is right around the corner from my place on 9th Ave. I think I'm on my period. Living alone, one's life is sadder but also more relaxed. I prefer it. Schwab's. Riding the island. Need a social place to hang out. Art bar with D.H. Lawrence. Maybe I should buy some art for the new place. Tastefully appointed. I intubated a guy on Thursday. He died on Tuesday, says nurse in the square. I didn't realize she was a medical health professional. Thought they were in tech. Bridging the grid to White Horse. Trying out all the date sports. Finish what you started, cleaning up New York in increments. 423, the prank economy. Feast your eyes on these falling bolts of silk. The last great toy that was made was the wagon. Flying buildings, walls, smack you upside the face. A bum laughing at a private joke searches the trash for food, checks the lid on the styrofoam coffee cup, sees it's empty, laughs. Theatre de Lis. Undercover deities. Like a flower at night lights up the compressing dark. Where Bedford dead ends at Christopher, I keep waiting for my favorite restaurant to come back. "5'9", I don't wanna. Antler dust. The velvet antler. Factory antler. The deer's antler tree. Antler dogtails. 2 antler spoons from Ontario. Antler science and product technology. The bar with antler chandeliers. Antler bear canoe. Gun dog shed antler training. Antler bone and shell. 513. G.G. Allen, where art thou? Your life is an unfinished novel. Holding on to the past. There's free housing in the trees for birds. I hadn't seen that. Circular Jedi, put air in your tires. Psychological oranges. Throw things at boys, left and right. I had 2 pairs of forests. Want somebody to bring my anger home to. Verbal essayist trying to say triangle. Throw myself into the night. Girl interrupted occupation corporation. Computers understand me. Waiting for my books to decay. Somebody stole my bike. 517, people weekday. The weather is naked and wanting. Glancing, dancing, electric miles. Saw St. Vincent written on a dumpster. Grodin, we hardly knew ye. For a videotape of this program, please send $19.95 plus shipping and handling to Fort Lee, New Jersey. Limousine service provided by Music Express. May 21st, executive decision. Website Pond, it's going to be 90 degrees Saturday and Sunday. Fuck this stupid life. 522, small talk. Like an arrow through patios, I'm learning what I can and can't do. Thawing out binary hibernation. The city smells like piss. People going home together on online dates, I am jealous of them. The hips of the stoop, like high-heeled glass. I was born the other night, and the penchant weighed in his hand. 527, horny and spiraling. Everyone's in love but me. My life is a mockery of a joke. Don't know why I resisted the impulse to kiss you. Sometimes I translate myself, and it's hard. 528, terrarium condo. Your face is a product. Dad's old clothes in the closet to deviate from the womb. Hannah found a bug in her food and took a lift home. So that's the general idea. So that was what, about 13 minutes, maybe 14? I think I started around 41 or 42. It's 55 now. See, I've got a lot of like really small things. So there's parts where it's like, I don't know, it's kind of like up and down. The longer pieces are okay. I mean, the one piece, the Chelsea Girls piece, I feel like really works. The Buddy Holly piece is okay, but it's one of the few things I have that length. It's just, so I'm not, I'm trying to figure out how I want to jump around. I like the idea of having all these different dates, and so it has a cohesion, and it kind of, but you're jumping around in time. So the reading will have that. I always like my readings to be like little complete stories or works in and of themselves about whatever I'm doing at that point. Even if it's a fucking open mic where I have 3 minutes. I'm literally constructing the thing as like the fastest version of like my recent life I can share with people. As far as like the diary and the banter, the things I include in between. So I don't know, I mean, how did that work as far as... I was pretty much holding back, I'd say, as far as like... I've got my award in the fucking frame. That's pretty slick. I was holding back as far as like... really going overboard with animatedness. So what typically works best for me when I have to work is like I smoke 2 joints earlier in the day, and then I don't smoke at all until like after the reading's over. And that way I'm feeling good, but I'm not like too high and weird. And so I think that'll be good for tomorrow, and it'll be good for the reading. But I don't know, there was definitely parts in this where I felt like not that confident. I felt like it was dragging. The kind of the middle part. I thought the end was good. That last piece, see, I should have read that at fucking the reading last week. I should have either read that. I'm afraid to bring one of my longer pieces into this. I'm not sure. I don't know. This piece, oral novel, that's like 7 minutes long. I think if I can do basically what I just did, except arrange it so it's a little more less choppy, I guess. I'll probably do it again. What the fuck? Why not? Let me read it again. There are certain things I took out that I might put back in. Just because if you take too much out, you kind of lose it. So let's try it again. If ideally at a reading I could just read the whole fucking book like in a row, and that would be like the reading. So with this, I don't expect, or maybe I should get on his blog and like look at some of the other videos and just see what he does, how long they are typically, if there's like an interview or any kind of shit like that. I probably won't say but that's kind of a natural for me. I don't want to be like fighting my natural inclination either. Let me just look real fast, see. what the fucking... I just want to see, like, some time code. How long these readings are. Yeah, you can check it out on your computer, the Don Yorty blog. It's one of the best poetry resources on the internet, frankly. I mean, his reading, he is a great... I mean, to be honest, like, he's definitely, like, somebody I really look up to and admire as far as, like, his video work that he does. Not only that, I mean, his whole thing. I have a lot that I admire and look up to in him. He's a performer. He's an actor. He's kind of a playwright. I don't, you know, we haven't talked that much about that, but in his videos, his poetry videos are excellent. He honestly, like, he should probably. I mean, I'd love it if I could bring him on to be like the camera B or something, or even the A camera. You know, he's going to have his camera tomorrow. I thought about asking him, hey, you want to just, like, roll on this? Alright, let's see what this is. But his videos of readings are, like, really excellent. So, highly, highly recommended. Sorry, I'm, like, looking at this right fucking now. I mean, not that anybody watches this. Shit, it doesn't really say how long it is. Wow. Cool. Anyway, it's really a dream come true to be a part of it, and like I said, I mean, I really look up to the way that he films poetry. I think there should be more people doing that, and I'm trying to kind of pick up in that tradition. So it's a real honor to be a part of, you know, his blog, because you know, I'm trying to, you know, I'm living the dream. All right, so I don't know. Is it cheesy to open with this line about lemon crocuses are blooming in St. Mark's churchyard? I feel like it's kind of cheesy to open with a line that's about where I'm going to be. Either that's going to be magic or it's going to be cheesy. I'm not sure. So let me just go through this again. This is just my, I'm rolling tape in my dress rehearsal. Okay. March 3rd, Speed Air. Scenic picnic. Lemon crocuses are blooming. You know, I might cut that scenic picnic line. I'm not sure. I might just start with... So, March 3rd, Speed Air. Lemon crocuses are blooming in St. Mark's churchyard. Cumulus clouds always. Colors reflecting off his daughters. That day was worth $10,000. March 12th, Night Gallery. Mini NYC, Bus Stop Cafe, The Island of Dr. Fabulous, Dr. Fabulous and the Women, Amazon Prime Business Assassins, Zero Sugar, Zero Calories, Max Pepsi Taste, Tricalium, $7 plus tax, Caspia, $6 plus tax, Hub Thai Picnic Rice is energy stored in grain, Me and the Generations. March 14th, Student Film. Closer to Rachel's, Car Trust, Pretty Car West, Hot Fudge Central, Charlie's Angels, like the whole red team. Let me sit and rest a minute. I can tell, grad students, it's fucking weak. We hope you're naked and devoted as you read this. There's no such street as Cherry Lane. The internet was the road. Mourn or roam? March 17th, 3 a.m. bathroom account. Microdosing with huge joints. Manhattan a pied-à-terre for the whole world. Gums swollen and tender at root of tooth. Thought is a mirror. It shows you who you are. My left side is my good side. March 18th, Operation Marijuana. Jake leg from cheap booze, morningless peripheries, tired but not able to sleep. I'd rather be a legend than good. Looks cool. I'm gonna miss the pandemic. New York City smells like Paris. Maybe that's the garbage in the street. I always like checking out paintings in the trash. This futon infuses with outdated vibes. Night walks in Manhattan. How much COVID in a raindrop? Guys selling fruit at 3 a.m. April 6th, price fishing. A highway's simple daisies. The Night Foundation. A portrait of our exact selves. We are stoned. Relearning the game. My love language is karate. You be the judge. April 18th, SM57. People with fabulous apartments in the village filled with giant HD televisions I can see from the street. Yuppie fucking scum. April 18th, Cross Pounder. M-Sculpt. Thermage. Fractional hair removal. Opaquely typical big unit. A flourishing of rechargeable PA systems. 422, Heathers. Hold on loosely, colorful gloom heat lamp. He loves his heat rock. She glows in the dark. $4.25, shitting blood. Public secret. I have internalized Wayne's World. Private property. Bored and sober, the doors of perception are not wide enough. Obsessed with the great refund, somewhere else is just getting started sleeping at 140 miles per hour. For a living, I take care of my friends. Chelsea girls. Redacted, I'm yours. Park Slope was a sleepy port on the canal, emptied and intelligent, suburban, not very fun after dark. Chelsea rattles with the masts of still clattering mercantile clipper ship empires. Take me to a Yankee game if you can. Jeter, A-Rod, Mariano Rivera, and the Judge. Upcycled Metropole, Greenwich Ave is the fastest way home. Union Square is the waist. 14th Street a belt. Downtown is Manhattan's legs. Upper torso the grid plan. Its arms are bridges, its ankles tunnels. A body seeing an eyesight of sideways prisms. Horizontal skyscrapers which are streets. Vertical roads which are buildings, femurs. Femur, tibia, Rockefeller, Seagrams. The bones we live in are homes, businesses, and offices. Its chest is Central Park, its abdomen Midtown. Shoulders the Upper West and East Sides. Morningside in Harlem is lobes of a brain. Washington Heights forests, the beard, mustache, and sideburns. The village's genitals, west may be vaginal, east phallic, and perpendicular rigidities. Christopher Street, one station, a G-spot. Is Tribeca an anus where we poop cars and trash? Out the Lincoln Tunnel, which is our colon? Brooklyn is a woman. It sleeps next to us in separate beds tonight. Brooklyn is a queen-size mattress. Manhattan is like sleeping in your car. I love my body, my big juicy pussy, New York City, as Dr. Eziaba Irobi used to say. Let's walk it like I talk it. Tony Manero strut from Sheep's Head Bay to Corlier's Hook. Schwab's. Riding the island, need a social place to hang out. Art bar with D.H. Lawrence. Maybe I should buy some art for the new place. Tastefully appointed. I intubated a guy on Thursday. He died on Tuesday, says nurse in the square. I didn't realize she was a medical health professional. Thought they were in tech. Bridging the grid to White Horse, trying out all the date sports. Finish what you started, cleaning up New York in increments. See, this is a point where after the Chelsea Girls poem, do I want to go back? I feel like I want to go back. But it's all these poems here that are kind of weird. Oh, fuck, I forgot. 427, The Failure Academy. See, I feel like I want to read this out of after the Chelsea Girls poem. 427, The Failure Academy. It is dark inside God's fist. Balsa wood, lingonberry, yellow AA batteries. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Raul Julia Appreciation Post. M. Bison, Moon Over Parador, Blonde. Addams Family, Gomez. Threepenny Opera, Mac the Knife. Othello at Joseph Pabst Public Theater. Will sex hang in the air as I sit in my favorite bar? Only time will tell. Better than nothing. Whenever we'd go out to eat as a family, as kids, our dad would give the host of the restaurant a false name. He'd tell them our last name was Jones. And when we'd be called to sit down, we'd hear Jones, party of four, announced over the loudspeaker. Hey, that's us. Maybe I'll read that last. I feel like I don't see. That's what's weird about the. I just don't know how to fit these in. Like, I like them, but I don't know. The Raul Julia Appreciation Post. How am I gonna, like, I've got all these poems about New York that I want to get to that work basically. Maybe I should just focus on those and then go back to the other stuff. It's hard to say. I feel like if once I do the Chelsea Girls poem, to go back to this stuff that's kind of on a different subject, I don't know. It feels like it's a lot, even though it's not even that much time. It just feels like it's taking a lot. So, fuck, I don't know. 428, Crazy Game of Poker. Cliche of relaxation, cliche of party, cliche of spa. It was not long ago there was a bar on Avenue A had a mechanical bull. Slew of pure rural rich farmers, cajoled and spoiled. The magazine rack is the library of the grocery store. 430, Saucy. It's already May somewhere, but not here. It's tempestuous late April. Sparrow graces us with a rusty moon as we ingest large percentages of microplastics. Oh well. Life goes on, buds peeking out, sprouts breaking from the grassy floor, glints of nascent life. Jack's wife frayed a patio full with diners. Schwab's. Riding the island, need a social place to hang out. Art bar with D.H. Lawrence. Maybe I should buy some art for the new place. Tastefully appointed, I intubated a guy on Thursday. He died on Tuesday, says nurse in the square. I didn't realize she was a medical health professional. Thought they were in tech. Bridging the grid to White Horse, trying out all the date sports. Finish what you started. Cleaning up New York in increments. See, I read that one once already. So I've been about 10 minutes. I started at 103. 423, The Prank Economy. Feast your eyes on these falling bolts of silk. The last great toy that was made was the wagon. Flyings, buildings, walls, smack you upside the face. A bum laughing at a private joke searches the trash for food. Checks the lid on a styrofoam coffee cup, sees it's empty, laughs. Theatre de lis. Undercover deities. Like a flower at night, lights up the compressing dark. We're Bedford dead ends at Christopher. I keep waiting for my favorite restaurant to come back. The apartment tape. Raindrops fell into my tears. Buddy Holly lived at the Brevoort on 5th Avenue, maybe at the same time as Jim Brody, who I think grew up there, just north of Washington Square Park, a building I remarked upon first seeing it, summer 2004 visit to New York. The heat, the grit, overlapped in the fountain bowl, bringing his guitar, digging poetry and jazz, moving to New York City with his band to be a part of the scene. Buddy Holly writing in a notebook, crying, waiting, hoping, blue days, black nights, hearts that are broken, love that's untrue. These go with learning the game. He liked the creative attitude of his building and that his neighbors did not look askance his intercultural marriage with Maria Elena Santiago like they did in Texas. Buddy Holly, 3 chords schematically placed with compressed precision. Buddy Holly, Greenwich Village notebook poet, hanging all night at Romani Marie's. Buddy Holly, he died too soon that we may live. Buddy Holly, not fade away. Vox Populi. I'm a little wary to set goals. Sacrifice never got me everything I wanted. Just to be with people on a first-name basis and not worry about outcome. The world's first Google store is right around the corner from my place on 9th Avenue. Living alone, one's life is sadder, but also more relaxed. I prefer it. And then there's just kind of this last sequence, which pushes through from here. 5-9, I don't wanna. Antler dust, the velvet antler, factory antler, the deer's antler tree, antler dogtails, 2 antler spoons from Ontario, antler science and product technology, the bar with antler chandeliers, antler bear canoe, gun dog shed antler training, antler bone and shell. 5:13, G.G. Allen, where art thou? Your life is an unfinished novel, holding on to the past. There's free housing for birds in the trees. I hadn't seen that. Circular Jedi, put air in your tires. Psychological oranges, throw things at boys, left and right. I had 2 pairs of forest. Want somebody to bring my anger home. Verbal essayist trying to say triangle. Throw myself into the night. Girl interrupted occupation corporation. Computers understand me. Waiting for my books to decay. Somebody stole my bike. 5:17, People weekday. The weather is naked and wanting. Glancing, dancing, electric miles. Saw St. Vincent written on a dumpster. Grodin, we hardly knew ye. For a videotape of this program, please send $19.95 plus shipping and handling to Fort Lee, New Jersey. Limousine service provided by Music Express. May 21st, executive decision. Website pond. It's going to be 90 degrees Saturday and Sunday. Fuck this stupid life. 5:22, small talk. Like an arrow through patios, I'm learning what I can and can't do. Thawing out binary hibernation. The city smells like piss. People going home together on online dates. I am jealous of them. The hips of the stoop like high-heeled glass. I was born the other night, and the penchant weighed in his hand. 5:27, horny and spiraling. Everyone's in love but me. My life is a mockery of a joke. Don't know why I resisted the impulse to kiss you. Sometimes I translate myself, and it's hard. 5:28, terrarium condo. Your face is a product. Dad's old clothes in the closet. To deviate from the womb. Hannah found a bug in her food and took a lift home. See, I feel like that's a good place to stop. I don't know. I feel like maybe I should just cut these. I don't know. I like Saucy. I like Crazy Game of Poker. I don't know. I feel like I should cut a few of them maybe. It's just kind of too weird. It's just too much. So that was That was like 16 minutes, but I did have talking and I did repeat, so it was like, I don't know. 16 minutes is not bad. I'd like to be able to do 16 minutes, but I don't want it, it definitely felt like a lot of pieces. And that's kind of annoying to just have these little things just stopping and starting and stopping and starting. Like, I don't think I'm going to be able to get away with reading like a super long piece in this reading. I don't fucking know. I mean, he didn't give me any direction, really. He didn't tell me what to do. I don't think this cafe life piece will sustain. I already read it, the KGB things, so I don't really feel the need to repeat it. The oral novel, it's just too long. It's not going to make any fucking sense in this. I have to turn off the waiting for you down. So, hey, done, I saw, buddy. How's everybody out there? Happy Sunday morning. I from Too Much Salt, for too much salt, too much salt. I don't care what they say, I don't care what they do, they cannot hurt my soul. And in fact, his life is reinforced by their swords. I could tell the story of my life in Epicene. That's what Fallout for Ashley Simpson's been thinking too. My people won't let go. Oh, hey, I'm on the hook with my solo hand. Do what you do with your left hand. I know what you do. That's okay. We won't sexualize the conversation. I wish I could talk to you on the phone. I wish I could talk to you. Oh, decided is oh so. Don't think too much. We're going to have World War IX. You know that everybody understands the seriousness of the gravity of the political situation we're in. I'm sure. Do I need to talk about it? It's a great vlog, 1913. I like entertaining. But people just want to hear music. When they hear music, they want something. The only podcast I ever hear of you, I got an interview. I like doing interviews. I like answering questions. I like interview questions. I like to talk about my work. I like my approach. I like to disconnect. I like that better than the work itself in a lot of ways. I'd say that is the technique. The technique's what you get on TV. One of the children nobody wants to hear, you fucking told me. Oh, is to... The song is now. It's always coming out. It's going to show, not just so, all the way through the other side. She's so... I have no survival skill. My constructions are elementary at best. We're in my comfort zone. Piece of shit. What happened? Computer's a piece of shit. Oh, we're back now. For a few times it was, oh, blue, working on us. Return. Sunday services. Here eating bravado, one string cheese incident at a time. Karaoke nightclub of the fucking heart. Well, you gotta have fun. You gotta save. Life is 11:25. We are here. Hey, from our, ladies and gentlemen, the greatest movie ever, one of the great movies of all time, Surfing Ishtar. Hi everybody, I'm Matt Brocker. It's Sunday morning CPS this morning. We got some great guests. Charles Carroll on the road in America. It's not worth it. That was my big conclusion. Blowing ears out of this fucking place. I always fall asleep watching silent movies. I want someone to love me for my love, the ones I write and the ones I don't. I don't like the stocky awareness of my town. I'm just trying to figure out what it all means. Well, if you ask me my profession, I'd say I've got an awful lot of good ideas. It's not my fault the society doesn't prioritize now. If they just let me run things, I straighten out the whole damn town. I don't mean retribution type way. I hear they've got a different syntax on the other when you could, well, then what is the fucking point? This is not about the enjoyment of anybody else but the government. I'll take my tax dollars and I'll figure out what I want to pay. Thank you very much. Thank you, Uncle Sam. Thank you, Aunt Sally Mae. I was able to buy my first house today. I went down to the Remax dealer. He said hi to me. I said he was a very friendly man and it wasn't closing ceremony. I said it's a very friendly man. Jenna's praying to me. We can talk about my suits. What we just accepted, we are accepting it. We're normalizing it. Try to play mellow. I tried to play cocktail quiet outside. The interrogative number. Pretty good. My city is dreaming of Kentucky nights. The man on the next damn track. Time that next time. I was blinded by the architecture of the city lights. I was opening my eyes in the middle of the night. I want to get all that I came back with, nothing in my head. Then I got that help check. It made me feel really good. $600 a week, make it all right in this. I'm time. Psychological damages from this shit we're going through. What the fuck is this? How are we going to live with it? People don't know what they're supposed to do. It could kill your man. Me, I'll protect this house, do the magic ritual to keep the bad spirits out. Yeah, I got the watchful eye hanging on my door. I don't trust this town. I don't trust these people. Want to protect myself and the family members in my house. Want to protect all my loved ones. I could hold everything you do every single day. You know I'm thinking about you. You know you're going to rise. I just don't know. I don't know what to do. News is faith news. It happened 100 years ago. It'll happen again. It'll happen 100 years from now. It'll happen way back when. Just exercise your total freedom of elasticity of mind. Good words, however you want in time. I'll do 45, I'll do 50, I'll do 55. I can stretch for time. Time is the essence of a pleasure. I feel my body moves through the liquids of time. I'm swimming through the chlorine, and it's cleaning out my eye. I'm singing songs of beaches. Porch in Joanna, Ohio, by the big wall of the creek where Three Rivers stadiums and the softball fields go. The public field, the public pool. They plowed into the mode out in Valley View where Grandma grew up. She's ashamed to live by the White Castle truck, but it's who we are. We're hillbillies, and it goes deep. We're living on the bottom, trying to act like we're on top of the world. You gotta have fun while you can until the last possible second. You got to do what you can. You got to live your life. You got to work inside. What are you driven to do? What stimulates you? What's your passion and purpose? Living for others, helping others achieve happiness and safety, putting them before you, not just your family, your community. That's my message in this song. Go volunteer at a community recreational. Get out and on the street and protest while you still can't. Arrest the cops who killed Beyonce. What are they waiting for? Black Lives Matter. Get out on the streets and say it loud. Do what you can with your white skin. Put your body in front of those who may be at greater risk than you. Use your privilege to dismantle the systems of power. Use the patriarchal tendencies to dismantle all the males. Ride your bike everywhere. Recycle cans and batteries. Sunday service, everybody. See, that's what I should have read at the fucking thing at KGB bar, but I fucked up. I just don't know if that would be good for like this video blog thing, though. It would have been a great like political stump speech to get a lot of applause to end my reading on. That would have really knocked it out of the park, I think. If I would have ended on that, I would have really crushed it. But instead, I read my sentimental, kind of thick, sluggish, panorama of lost Bohemia. That would have been perfect, though. I was even in the Frankly Fabulous character. It would have made a lot of sense in context of the reading. Maybe I'll do that at New York Poetry Festival. See, I need another reading where I get 10 minutes or something, because then I could do... I don't know. It would have fit with the KGB bar things. I don't know how... It feels like I always do this at shows. I always play the wrong thing, or I wear the wrong thing. You know, my outfit was misguided. My character was kind of misguided. It was just kind of a stunt or an experiment that I don't know. It's not like it was bad, but, you know, I decided to read this thing instead of this other thing. And it wasn't bad. Like, I thought it went well, but this piece probably would have really... that felt riskier to me. Because the poetry in it is more audience friendly, because there's rhyming stuff in it, and there's like clear spoken kind of sentences that there's some nice rhythms in it that are kind of natural but also somewhat sing-songy or memorable and kind of an old-fashioned poetry way, like a meter kind of way. Like fucking, I don't know, something W.H. Auden might do, or Tennyson, or whoever the fuck, you know, John Suckling or whoever. Edmund Smith, you know, all the way back. Not that that's what this is, but it's a transcription of me playing music, actually. I was playing music and singing, and things just got so lit that I had these amazing rhymes. And it's cool that they work when you read them out loud, because to be honest, the other Frankly Fabulous monologues are not really like that. To read them out loud is a much different thing, because there's all the you knows and there's all the I and stops and starts, and this has a very clean cut kind of melody. Like I said, there's rhymes in it, and because I'm singing the phrases, they kind of come out in like this poetic, metric way. There's like a rhythm to them that a lot of my writing, the rhythm is way more. My writing is all about concision, compression, like I say about Buddy Holly. Compressed precision. Economy. It's totally scarcity mindset. It's totally poverty, where it's like, okay, I need to do as few syllables as possible. I need to have a small, crunch all of the meaning, crunch all of the words into as few words, as few syllables, and make them all kind of like bounce off each other and resonate off each other. And I don't know, sometimes it doesn't, I mean, that piece is much different. It has these kind of like, you know, outward flowing, like Whitman and the opera stuff. They said Whitman's long line was inspired by operas that he had seen, because they take huge breaths, and you know, they can sing. They sing their breath, you know. And so Whitman's kind of got this operatic extension. That's one thing I read. I think Helen Vendler or somebody fucking said that. I've got all these Whitman. Believe it or not, I used to be really into Whitman. I've been flirting with reading some Walt Whitman again. Why not? What the fuck? I mean, he's a downtown bohemian. What the fuck? He's maybe the original. Going to Pfaff's. That was in my piece. I mean, my piece is on the record, for better or for worse. Like, I read my Greenwich Village piece at a reading. I recorded it. I haven't watched it yet, so who fucking knows? I mean, the parts where I may have thought it was flagging, those might be the best parts. A lot of times when I'm like going ape shit and I think I'm doing great, like, are kind of the most annoying parts. The parts where I'm just like reading it a lot of times are the best parts, actually. Even if inside I'm like nervous or not thinking it's going that well. You have to trust the work. Even though my work is not necessarily complete without the person and the performance, or at least, I don't know, I'm trying to, like, I guess, telegraph meaning to the audience. This is my Shakespearean actor training. You know, I'm just doing what I did in plays, basically. I'm treating the word as if it's Shakespeare or whatever. But it might be a lot better if I tone it down and don't really do a performance and just read it and chill. People like chill. That was one thing about the reading tonight. It was very chill. It's a hallmark of our generation. Things being chill to the point of, like, you know, my performance is kind of the opposite of that. Man, what the fuck was I going to say? There was something I was about to say. There was some other performance or something I listened to. Oh, I listened to this recording of Holy Smokes at Pete's Candy Store, which I haven't listened to, I don't know, in its entirety. Because it's, like, all this stuff, I'm kind of afraid what might hear. And what was kind of unexpected about, I mean, it was an interesting week because it was during our residency in March of 2016. It's hard for me to believe that it was only 1 year from, like, our first gig at Pete's to that residency, because so much happened. It felt like so much happened. And I was in Wavetable for almost 3 years. I mean, it was 2.5 years. That band started before my relationship with Sarah, so that was like May 2017 to December 2019. So, yeah, that's 2.5 years. Holy Smokes was really, I mean, after that residency, I mean, we did more shit, but I don't know. Anyway, so I'm listening to this Pete's performance, and it was that was like the toughest time of my entire life, even more than the pandemic and everything. Like, I had this toothache, and Trump was happening, and they were renovating our house, and I just had all this stress with my band, and there was the whole Olivia thing going on, and just like, it was just like all of this shit. I mean, the toothache in itself was just like horrific. I mean, it was so painful. It was the most painful thing I've ever felt. And on this recording, I talk about, I've had a toothache all week, so. But the thing I will say is, I'm just like super self-deprecating to the point that it's like, it takes away because, to be honest, the music sounds good. I mean, maybe I'm the only one that would say that, but like, the music is like, is cool. The banter goes a little too far. It's just too much. Like I said, because I had this toothache, and I remembered the show. I do remember it. And I remember sort of feeling like we did good, but also sort of feeling like, with the songs, it always just felt like we were fucking them up, or they weren't, like my poems, it felt like, oh, they're not good enough, or they're only 2 chords, they're not real songs, so something special. Like, my poems kind of feel that way. They feel like they're about 25% of the thing, and then so you have to provide the other 75% with like your inspired, interpretation or acting it or whatever. Not that I do that on purpose, it's just like, it feels like, I guess I'm trying to make up for a lack in the material. The thing that I realized at the reading tonight was like, this one poet does a lot of workshops. They're very intent on that. They take workshops, they pay for workshops. My friend who I read at KGB with last week is the same way. She pays for workshops. She pays to have people critique her and help her improve her stuff. I don't ever do that. I mean, I will do a workshop if it's like a one-time thing, and it's like part of a, like Brooklyn Poets would have like a workshop at the beginning of their open mic, and they'd have great, like I took a workshop with Emily Skillings or Samson Starkweather or Joanna C. Valente, where it was like, it's just one lesson, and it's, they don't put you on the spot. You don't have to share or anything. But they give you almost every one of those. I'd come out with a poem that was good, to be honest. I'm very good at prompts. At least I think I am. But I never pay for a workshop, or like, I never pay for like somebody's critique. Like a lot of these poets who have MFAs, who are pros, trying to be professionals, they'll like charge people a couple $100 to like read their work and give them notes. And I don't know, I guess it helps because, these poets, my work doesn't have that, that like fortification. I don't even know if I'm even doing anything in it, to be honest. Like, I have mole eyes when it comes to perceiving my own effect, because I don't actually know if there's anything. To me, the metaphor comes from the sound, and my work is much more about sound, picture, and showing, not telling. Rather than telling what the metaphor is, I have things. Like Carlos Williams says, I have things. I have moments, I have, phrases as things. The word as objects. So, like, lemon crocuses are blooming in St. Mark's Churchyard, That's about my personal story. March 3rd. This is something I saw out the window of, I think maybe Jack's car, as we were driving up 2nd Avenue, maybe. I was going by the church for some reason on March 3rd. I think it's when Jack was here. And there were all these beautiful, I don't know if they were lemon crocuses. I think they were daffodils, actually. In fact, I'm sure they were daffodils. But lemon crocuses, that's what I thought they were at the time. Because I only bought these daffodils at Trader Joe's in April. And that's when I learned what daffodils were. At the time, I thought they were lemon crocuses. The lemon, just because they're lemon colored. They're like more yellow than yellow. They're like this like plastic yellow. They're kind of shiny almost. So, but it's St. Mark's Churchyard. Like I said, is that cheesy to... And that's where I'm doing my video stuff, and it's like a poetry location, so it's Lower East Side, and it's, you know, there's a tradition there, and blah, blah, blah. So that's the metaphor. It's not really, it's just more indulgent. But it's sort of what the book is about. You know, it's about these poets and the poets in these neighborhoods and the big city. And then, so Night Gallery, this is just a list of different things about New York. So I'm trying to include almost like a block. It's like, here's all the different shops in the block. You know, mini New York City. So this is like a little miniature version of the city. You know how they have these scale models and shit. So in this poem, in this book, I'm mentioning all these things, all these streets, all these people, all these things I saw. You know, like this, the body. This whole poem is like, you know, the conceit of it being Manhattan is a body, and so what would each part be? So this is, you know, it's city life. That's what this book is about, you know. Amazon Prime Business Assassins, you know. Bus Stop Cafe, that's at Abingdon Square, but I think it's also a play. There's a play called Bus Stop, which I think Marilyn Monroe was in. And I think it might be about this cafe. I'm not sure. Because all the buses in there on 9th Avenue, they go down to Abingdon Square, and that's where the bus drivers, like, trade off and take their breaks and shit. And people get off. Even though the village is kind of lost amongst this gargantuan, you know, it is its own. It's almost like a seaside village in like Massachusetts or something. That's what it feels like when you live there, and you're gulped up in it. And you don't really go anywhere else. It's totally possible to never go anywhere and just live your whole life in the village. And in fact, that's what all of these characters did. The Maxwell Bodenheim people and the you know, those people. And now you get a sense, it's kind of interesting looking up 7th Avenue, because you definitely get a sense of like this huge city like looking over you or something. It's just uptown, but like just in the dimension of the village and that kind of enclosure of the green and the small townhouses. You can totally get lost in that. But the breeze, the white horse, being able to see the river, and the river's wide. It's a hardy river and a brawny river. It just feels like salt air. I don't know. It feels like Provincetown. That link, the Harry Kemp link to Provincetown, and the fact that it's on the coast of the island. Everything's kind of tilted that way. It feels like a shore. So I have some lines about that in here, you know. I'm trying to put that across. And why? I don't know. I mean, it's a psychogeography. It's portrait of a place. It's socio-political, but it's also, I don't know, trying to investigate the source of inspiration, maybe. Why is it? I mean, it's a unique condition among New York City. New York City being the greatest city in the world, which I don't know if it qualifies. I heard somebody, maybe it was in this, talking about when New York was, oh, no, it was in the Aram Saroyan book. He talks about his mom lived in New York. She grew up on Gramercy in, like, I don't even know, the 20s, 30s, 40s or something. She went to the Stork Club and shit with Una Chaplin. His mom, I don't know. He was around famous people like Bill Berkson. He's just around famous people and sort of this glamorous life as a kid. His mom, when she got remarried, she married Walter Matthau. So Walter Matthau was his stepdad. But he talks about she grew up in New York when it was the greatest city in the world. And you could kind of feel that, I think, in a different way than now. Like, even though it's still the greatest city in the world, it's not a city in the same way where everything's just relying on each other and even the scale feels kind of different now. I mean, although New York, when I look out the window, and particularly in Manhattan, I look out and I see this terraced kind of just metropolis or whatever, and I feel like I live in some Aztec city or something. I feel like I live in, what was Mexico City before it was, what is it? What's the famous? It's a famous thing, right? I can't remember it. I can't remember the name. Whatever Mexico City was, the city underneath Mexico City, that got destroyed when the white people came. What is that city called? Not Teotihuacan or New York does kind of feel like that. It does have that kind of historic import to civilization, but it doesn't. It's kind of maxed out its growth, I think. There's no sense that it's like this interreliant, like charged live thing. The connections are, I don't know, there's kind of a signal rot that makes it different. The way that people order everything. And I mean, obviously it's still a huge, huge city, but I don't know if it has the same chemistry and the same kind of like kinetic, imaginative, creative power. It's been deadened a little bit by money. Like I said, the Village used to be this sort of isolated, magical place, and now look who lives there. And that's part of what my book is about, absolutely. But it's also, it's just a portrait of coming out of the pandemic. The internet was the road. So, okay, this line, there's no such street as Cherry Lane. I'm kind of like, this poem I don't really know about, because it's like, there's no such street as Cherry Lane. That sounds just kind of like a platitude. But it is true. What I'm saying is the Cherry Lane Theater is actually on Barrow Street or something. There's no street called Cherry Lane. That theater's just called that. So, like, I guess part of what I'm saying is it's not meant to be like a platitude. Like, there's no easy street. That's not really what. But that's why when I read it, I feel like kind of like, this feels like some kind of platitude or something. Like I'm saying there's no easy street, when in reality I don't know. Maybe that is what I'm saying. There's no such street as Cherry Lane. The internet was the road, mourner roam. The internet was the road. Once again, is this poetry? I'm not really sure. This might just be some kind of like curt way of saying that the road as a hitchhiking sort of like pre-internet where you go through the networks of cities, groupings of hive mind people, hitchhiking like on the road. Or, I mean, that was their answer to drop out. We don't have that option. We don't have hitchhiking culture. The road is expensive. It's not easy to bum around, and you can't ride trains, blah, blah, blah. The police state is taking over. The internet, but also the internet is the road, meaning you can actually achieve, you could look at Twitter as like a salon that just goes on all day, every day, that never ends. And all the best writers are there from all over the fucking country and other countries. And, you can find out, all the art is on the fucking internet, the most cutting edge shit. You can find out about it no matter where you are. And even though the internet is a sedentary thing, it has become a mode of travel. You can see the world, whether it's Google Street View or talking to people on message boards or on Twitter or whatever who are in other parts of the world, or fucking video games where you're on a headset with other parts of the world, or Tumblr or 4chan or Reddit or whatever. Obviously, you can wander the internet, and you can hitchhike the internet, you can surf the internet, you can hang out on the internet and sort of browse the browser, right? In the same way that if you're traveling, walking around, seeing different cities, going into different stores, going into bookstores, going into restaurants, going into, getting on a bus, it's a lot of the writers and the artists, it feels like, of my generation and younger, like the formative thing, and indeed I think a lot of their content and their style is like the internet. It's not, if you say that, well, particularly now that the physical location of these bohemias we've been displaced from because they're expensive and people who work for Google and whatnot want to live there. So we've been displaced from our physical gathering places. There is no coffee shop like Edmund Wilson went to. There is no Gaslight. There is no Cafe Figaro or Cedar Bar. Or there is, but it's just it's more expensive. We're dislocated. It's in Brooklyn maybe, or Portland or whatever. But the internet is really where those places are. If Kerouac's sort of motif and his content and his answer in his college, in a way, is the road and traveling and the real world, and that bohemian kind of circuit of that, which you could do for little money, and you could do freely because it was sort of right before police state and just like IDs and cops everywhere and security and blah, blah, blah. Now, most writers, I would say, are... This is another thing, is like the difference between success on the internet and not necessarily like success in real life, but like, okay, talent as a writer, for instance. I'm not exactly sure what makes somebody good on Twitter. And, this is something I have a lot of frustration about, because there are a lot of people on Twitter that, like, man, they're faster than me. They got more moves than me. They're more insightful than me. They say it better than me. They say it cooler than me, younger than me, hipper than me. Even though I've been working to sort of chunk out my own style, it's kind of, it's slow and it's like Whitey. I don't know. It's not like Whitey, but it's like there's a reason why I have 305 followers on Twitter. I don't know. My shit just doesn't work. Even when I get retweeted by other people, it doesn't really get liked. And even my poems, I don't know. Like if I were to like share poems on Instagram, no one is going to like them or comment on them. And it's like, well, is that because I'm not any good? Should I try to write poems that like people are going to read and be like, "Oh my god." And like a lot of people online who I know go, not necessarily that I know, but like get 60 fucking, like there was this guy who I went to, or who was from Columbus, right? And he's a poet, but he's also like sort of a fine artist, and he made these corn sculptures out of like blue. They almost look like fucking like the Star Wars toys of like Anakin when they're ghosts and shit, and they're like blue. It's like this blue transparent plastic. And they're cool. They're, I would say, heavily derivative of these corn sculptures in Dublin, Ohio. There's a field of corn sculptures in Dublin, Ohio with like 100 fucking big marble pieces of corn. And so this guy basically did the same fucking thing. It's just he did it with plastic, and he did smaller versions. And it's cool, but like his fucking post about it got like 11,000 fucking retweets or favorites or something. It's like, holy shit. And he's, I don't know, just like everybody on the internet, he's always humble bragging about, I don't know, this, he's going to be in this gallery show, or, you know, this Netflix show wants to use some of his or whatever. Just like everything. But it's like, my tweets don't do that. The most likes I've ever gotten anything, I think I got 50 likes on a tweet. And that was like, holy shit. Massive success for me. Massive. You know, for somebody like Saeed Jones or Alexander Chee, that would be like the worst tweet they ever had, would get 50 likes. So, I don't know. I mean, my shit doesn't have enough sizzle, but like, I don't see it translate a lot. You know, like, to be honest, like, the poet I saw tonight, like, not to pick them out or anything, but like, her tweets are I like her poems a lot, but the tweets are like kind of better writing, I'd say. I don't know. I mean, the poems are good writing too, but they don't have, like, I don't know, they don't have the pop or whatever. And like, a lot of people who get jobs now get jobs off of fucking Twitter. Editors pull a lot of writers from Twitter. Like, that's how Elisa Gabbard is like everywhere. She's like in the fucking New York Times. She's like in Paris Review. She's in this. She's that. Because she's awesome on Twitter. She's like incredible on Twitter. And then her essays and shit are fucking amazing and very readable and like fun and entertaining. Her poems, I think, are not, I mean, they're good, but like, they're not, the reason why she's getting all this work and shit is because she's like fucking awesome at Twitter. And she is an excellent like essayist and like thinker, and her poems are, I from what I've read, I liked. But there's just a lot of examples of shit like that where you're just like, oh, and like TV writers and shit. There's all these people who are like, and in fact, it seems like that's almost like a prerequisite. Like, why would any TV show hire you if you can't prove that you can write a joke that 50,000 people are going to like on Twitter? Or, you know, if you go viral with some fucking tweet that gets 100,000 likes or something, you know? This is an indication, like as a comedian or something, I think if you want to be a pro, you have to do that. Otherwise, like, what the fuck? Who are you to be a comedian? You can't get other people to like your shit, then go the fuck home. But I don't necessarily know that the skill translates. I don't know. There's a lot, like this is one thing I noticed about Saturday Night Live when I was watching it during the pandemic when I had no choice. And this may have been because of the pandemic. Maybe there just wasn't a lot going on. But there were so many jokes that were like about Twitter. Like that whole Dionne Warwick Twitter sketch. It's like, this is like a skit that's about her Twitter account. It's like, that's because all these fucking comedians are on Twitter. And just like certain shit in our generation, like the jokes, it's just like the skit about Home Alone Bird Lady or whatever. It's like, this is not real life. This is like, our whole generation has been systematically brainwashed by this movie, and like we're endeared to this stupid shit from our youth. And so like, this is the substance of our lives. When they put this skit on Saturday Night Live, because everybody our age can relate to it, because, oh, it's chill, it's cool, it's media, it's 90s, it's Macaulay Culkin, it's you know, it's this movie that we were all endeared to. I've talked about it before, how Trump's in it and blah blah blah. It's a big real estate campaign for New York. It gentrified. It was, you know, the movie's about gentrification. His uncle or whatever in the movie's like fixing up that brownstone. They're renovating it. They're trash. They're the enemy. They're class enemies, the McAllisters. Gentrifying white devils. Kill them all. Harry and Marv should have slaughtered the whole bourgeois fucking family. Revenge of Harry and Marv. They go over to the house and they fucking torture them all to death with the shit that Kevin used on them. It's only fair. It's karma. That's a sequel. Anyway. Yeah, so I was explaining my poetry and I got into this rant about Twitter and how I just don't think it translates. You know, like making jokes about like Home Alone 2, that's something somebody on fucking Twitter would do. And it's just like, it's just stupid. Like there's nothing insightful about that. It's like this reference to this fucking movie that we are like diseased with, that no one else is going to understand at all. And so I feel like a lot of things with our generation are like that. I don't know. These Twitter, a lot of it's just like optics, like everything on the internet. You know, I don't remember when I first heard this word optics, probably doing video stuff, probably about 7 or 8 years ago. But optics, like everything is optics online. And I'm not, I mean, I don't know. I mean, is going viral an indication that like you're like a genius or like you've got the talent? I think there's something cool about the fact that now fame or just like material, jokes, insights, thoughts, memes are sort of like, it's democratic, it's crowdsourced, it can come from anybody, anywhere. Anybody can go viral. Anybody has the hottest take, has the best line, theoretically could get 50,000 likes or 400,000 likes or whatever. If you're smart enough, if you're funny enough. But I also think there's trends that play into it that like, just like everything, a lot, I don't know, Twitter in particular, well, probably Instagram too, but I don't know, Twitter is about gossip and sort of, it is a lot of people, I think, who have FOMO, who like want to feel like they're a part of pop culture and the kind of stupidity of that, and sort of, you know, spill the tea and, you know, dissect in great detail the all the minutia of, you know, Ben Affleck and J-Lo are back together, and there's a new picture every day, and it becomes a fucking meme, and Ben Affleck was a meme even before that happened, you know? At least on Twitter. I'm not even sure if people outside, I mean, memes have become, I would say, like one of the fucking prime mediums of our, like, they're maybe one of the most effective forms of entertainment or social expression we have. You know, if something is good, will the internet find it and popularize it, or will we still have artists who are, you know, unknown during their time and are only recognized after they're gone, they're ahead of their time or whatever? Does the internet like make it impossible to be ahead of your time? I don't know. There's just like everybody everywhere potentially is looking at what you're doing, and if they're ignoring it, like all of my videos, does that just mean there's nothing there? Are they too hard to watch? Is it too cringe? I think everybody is like cringe on the internet, but in that sense it's like unexceptional. We all have our moments where we tweet shit that's like emotional and then delete it. This is the thing that I just can't handle about it, is just how they stir up the drama. You know, they want to make you jealous. And so they're provoking these cries for help, is what I mean. You know, by putting things in your face that are going to make you jealous. It's almost like they're encouraging you to act out and get mad at people. I know that, like, I'm mad at all these people that I don't even fucking know because they don't really support me on Twitter. And it's weird. It's just weird to me how certain people who aren't even famous or anything, just their average, comment, unexceptional thought, they'll get 20, 25, 30 likes. A lot of writers I know will get 15 or 16 likes on a thing. That's just some, like, them talking about how their day was hard or something. And it's like, me, I literally have, I don't know, if I have something that I think is like a really fucking good, smart, funny, insightful thing, I might maybe get 2 likes. If I have something that's like incredibly dynamite or just works for some mysterious reason that I don't understand, maybe I'll get 3 likes. But that's like insane. Most of my tweets get no likes. I'd say, maybe 30% of them get like 1 like, maybe 40%. Nah, probably 30 get like 1 like. And then almost none get more than 1 like. And it's like, I think people are just kind of embarrassed, or like, I've put a weirdness there. We don't have that relationship. I can like certain people's tweets because they have 25 other people liking them, but they can't like any of my tweets because they'll be the only person liking it. And that would, I think, maybe it's because it would be too meaningful to me. Maybe I'm too weird about it. To be honest, I've never met any of these people in real life. So, but even the people I have met in real life, like, they don't like my tweets every fucking time I tweet everything. Most people, like, never like any of my fucking tweets at all. And then every once in a while I'll have a person who supports me for a little while, and then they'll sort of stop. Right now there's a person named Low Level Owl who was, like, really super supportive of me, which I really appreciate. I love their work on Twitter. I feel a strong affinity with it. But they're like the only person that likes my tweets at all. And then there's a girl named Free who's like a pothead. She's really cool and nice. I can tell she's just like a good person. And she's very supportive of my tweets. The pandemic especially was like, Twitter was like one of my only channels socially, as far as like a way to stay abreast of current events and also stay connected to literary world. I wasn't doing Zoom events really after October. I was doing my live stream and I was watching YouTube constantly, but like Twitter was really my prime social activity in a sad way. Maybe we had no fucking choice. We were literally forced into a fucking, situation where that's all that existed. And so this is something that I'm questioning now going forth, is like, do I even want to continue to do these things? Like, as a writer, it definitely feels like a good way to build your, but I'm not winning and I'm not good at it. Like, I have a number of people who follow me who are like very serious poets and like high up in that world, and so it is, my Twitter is like, an asset to me, and it's important to me. It's valuable, but I also just like doing it. But also I'm just realizing, like, I've been buying all these books. I barely read any of them at all. I mean, I read, but I'm on my phone 5 hours a day, and during the pandemic it was more than that, 6, 7, 8. And so, well, particularly because they insist on creating this ecosystem that is, like I said last week with my reading with KGB, it just, like, I feel like I felt so attacked and beaten up emotionally because of social media and all of the social media bullshit that it might be more worth it to just not do it, frankly. Like, what the fuck? What am I going to lose? Like, a lot of people that I follow don't really use it anymore, as far as like putting content out there. Like, a lot of poets have gotten off of it, as far as I can tell. They might check it from time to time, but it seems like they just all quit, basically. And so maybe there's something to be said for that, for focusing more on actual reading, actual in-person interaction, actual, because Twitter is this sort of, it's almost like going to a bar or something, and all the writers are there, and all your favorite people, but it's not really your friends. It's not really at least not for me. None of my friends are really on it, to be honest. No one, my brother's not on it. Max is on it, but I don't really think he uses it ever. Nobody I know uses it at all. This is why nobody likes my fucking tweets. Because I literally just don't have any. Well, and they also just might not be any good. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm trying to create a life for myself as a writer. And I'm doing it outside of institutional approval and institutional prefabricating everything. Your peer group, your mentorships, your friends, who you're going to be friends with, who you're going to publish, who you're going to... All of these fucking people are like domesticated. There's people who have MFAs and they're like the professionals. They have a network where they just promote each other, publish each other, vouch for each other. In poetry, friendship is like currency. It's all about who like at the reading tonight, this girl, really obnoxiously, I thought, started off by talking about how she was friends with Kevin Killian. It's like, you're just doing that to brag, and because it gives you upfront like this like verification, like, okay, well, you're friends with Kevin Killian, you're obviously like legit and a part of this. And so when these relationships become institutionalized, it's like, do you get accepted to the MFA? Who's your advisor? Who you in a workshop with? Who's in your workshop? Who's in your MFA cohort? Who do they know? Oh, your advisor is going to put your, not only going to workshop your poems, but they're going to submit them to the New Yorker or something for you. Like, and we're just in a world that's just not very friendly to strangers. So if you're trying to work your way into this world, well, there's a distrust of you because you're not vetted. You're not in the MFA cohort. You're not in the pre-approved circle of legitimate practitioners of this. You are an unwashed, unverified, unblue check mark. And so we don't know you. You're not a player. You're not getting published by anything that matters. You're not a professor anywhere that matters. You don't have followers. You're not you're not a part of the power. The thing about poetry is, just like everything else, just about power at this point. I mean, it's not just about power, but these relationships are about power, and this world is kind of made of these relationships. It is like a big human pyramid of who vouches for who blurbs who mentored who's friends with who emails who publishes, So if you don't pay to play, if you don't go to Columbia, if you don't go to... And now, I mean, it's harder to get in, I think, maybe, for certain people. I just hate how this thing, artistic mentorships, these things have become like institutionalized and something that you like buy, basically. And the student loan thing is kind of at the heart of this, and this is one reason why I kind of have Like, I don't know if I'm down with, I mean, it's not that I'm not down with it, but like this thing about forgiving student loans, it's like, okay, well, I didn't get an MFA. I went to Ohio State for undergrad because I knew I didn't want to take out $50,000 of student loans. And, you know, if I would have taken out $50,000 of student loans to get an MFA, I might be competitive professionally. I might have a job as a professor. I might be published. I might have this mentorship. You know, if I could have gone to Long Island University, Brooklyn, I would have been taught by Lewis Warsh and Erica Hunt. They would have taken me in. They would have introduced me to everybody. They would have workshopped my stuff. I probably would have published a book. All that would have been taken care of. Instead, I'm out here doing it on my own, clumsily, painfully. It's taken me 10 years to even get this far. Should I have just fucking bit the bullet and spent 50 grand? Well, okay, somebody that did, let's say somebody who went to Columbia and they have $100,000 in debt. Well, they've also been published in the fucking New Yorker. They're also a professor at NYU. They're also this, that, and the other, teaching workshops, doing readings, going on tour, because they took out the fucking student loan debt. So they're getting paid, you know, some of them anyway. I don't know exactly. Apparently the academic job market is horrible, but like, if you have an MFA, you're in the academic job market, whereas if you don't, you're working in a restaurant or something like that and writing in your spare time. And so, okay, not only do they have the job, do they have the professional advantage, they have the mentor, they have the grant, they have the book, they have the adjunct professorship. Now we're going to absolve their student loan debt. So, you know, that's just like, it's just like a kid saying, oh, you know, please, I didn't, you know, like, I dropped my ice cream cone. Will you give me another one? It's like, there's consequences, okay? Maybe this is old paradigm, but I knew that my whole life. I'm a poor person, so I didn't take out $100,000 in fucking student loan debt. You know, I'm not saying that they shouldn't, like, obviously a lot of these loans are fucking bullshit, but what do I get? Once again. And so, it's just like, they get loan forgiveness and they have the degree. What do I have? I didn't go to fucking college. I didn't party in undergrad, taking out a bunch of debt. I didn't go to an MFA and take out a bunch of debt to do things the easy way. An MFA takes 2 years. It's like my mom and all the lawyers she works with. She's been a paralegal. She's worked in law offices her whole fucking life, 40 plus years of experience. But because some people went to law school for 3 fucking years, they get to talk down to her and condescend to her and act like they know more than her and get paid more than her their whole fucking life. That's bullshit. Just because they have a fucking certificate. Like, school is not real life. It doesn't teach you shit. We should not hire these. We shouldn't hold these people on a higher level. You know, I could be a fucking professor of poetry. I know more about it than most of these fucking jagoffs. But I didn't want to take out student loan debt. So, if they get debt forgiveness, let's say you have $50,000 in student loan debt and they're going to forgive it. They should give me $50,000. They should, you know, because I didn't go to school. Like, give me $50,000 so I can go to school. If they get student debt forgiveness, I should get like a fucking grant so I can go to school. I mean, I guess that's the point. Make it free for everybody. That's the ultimate goal. But I don't know. They knew what they were getting into. Like, I don't really buy that they thought they were going to get jobs and be able to pay it off. Like, no, like, you should have been smarter than that. You know, if you take out $100,000 in student loan debt or $50,000, what's your monthly fucking payment going to be? $600 or something? Like, think about how hard it's going to be to make that payment. Like, even if you're fucking 18 years old, you should be smarter than that. So anyway, I didn't take out student loan debt. I've been making fucking pauper ass penny sheets here, penny pamphlets. So I'm doing my that was it. That was my dress rehearsal. I don't know. I'll probably do it one more time tomorrow. I kind of got it. I'll probably cut the fucking Raul Julia. I like Crazy Game of Poker, but I don't know. It's a little, that's an OAR thing, so we can probably do without that. Anyway, wish me luck. I gotta work tomorrow and do this, so hopefully it goes real well. It's getting late. It's 1:30 in the morning. I guess I'm not doing the Frankly Fabulous sign-off anymore. I'm just trying to make it. Oh, yeah, I also made these. These were like a comic book I put together today. I've just, you know, now that I got this word processing and this scanner, I just, these are drawings from my quarantine composition book here. My marble notebook that I did through the early days of the pandemic. I don't know, it's just easy, you know, because this turned out so well. I thought, what the hell, why not scan some other stuff, throw it together in a book, see what that's like, see what making a little comic book is like. So I'll probably do more of those. Like I said, things are starting to come together as far as like my process and how I want to do things going forward. So, you know, this City Life book is kind of a big breakthrough because the cover, the cohesion of it, there's a breadth to it, but it's not that long. It's only 28 pages. You know, my High on Life book is 44 pages. So, City Life, send me some money. I'll send you the book. It's a beautiful cover. If nothing else, you just rip the cover off and fuck the poetry. But the poetry's good. I stand by it. I'll get more confident about it someday. I don't know. Maybe when I stop smoking, get my shit together. Alright, wish me luck. Thank you for watching. Good night, everyone.